Located at one of Nairobi's most buzzing malls is Ozone Trampoline Park.
Ozone is set in a post-apocalyptic Nairobi. A lot of the artwork that you see is representative of an environment where there is an intergalactic invasion of the space. And now we find ourselves in a trampoline park. So let's go upstairs and I'll show you more about the space. Where do we draw inspiration from? I believe being exposed to global trends is important. Listening to our customer base and listening to our team as well, who all bring very good ideas to the table, are important places to draw inspiration from and distill what kind of experience and customer we're trying to go after. We felt that there was a gap in the market between very young children and adults. And so the tween and teenage market didn't have a lot of activities to really keep them entertained. So playgrounds were a little bit too young for them, they've outgrown them. Bowling is a family activity which interests them, but they needed more diversity. We felt that the global trend of trampoline parks was appropriate for this time in Kenya. We wanted to bring back recreation as a cornerstone of the center. And we felt that reintroducing bowling was timely, but we also wanted to innovate and bring new concepts into the market that we believe Nairobi and Kenya are ready for, and the region actually, as we find a lot of regional visitors are also interested in experiencing something new.
A lot of details and attention was used to create the space.
Bringing a new concept into the market like Ballpoint and Ozone, which are both one of a kind and new entries into the market, meant that we had to establish a benchmark. And trying to set a price for an activity that you can never compare if anyone else has done this, or what do you really compare it to? It's just an example of some of the interesting parts of setting up a new innovative venture in Nairobi. So coming out with a concept and anticipating how it will be received, I think there was a little bit of interest, excitement. We felt that bringing a high energy space into the recreation concept was appropriate, and it's been extremely well received.
The first thing you notice upon entering the park is the urban graffiti all over.
We were very lucky to be able to collaborate with artists on the space, bringing in a lot of colors and a lot of life that we felt was relevant to the market and relatable. I think bringing in the colors, the matatus, the space that was reminiscent of a Nairobi street style meant that we're embracing the urban lifestyle that we are also familiar with. And that's something that has been a common thread in Village Market's development, is nostalgia and familiarity. We strongly believe that Village Market has established its place in the city streetscape, and having our spaces representative of the urban setting are important to acknowledge and have our customers relate to the spaces that we're creating.
The artwork is beautifully done, and what stands out is the real matatu fixed on the wall, which reflects the spirit of Nairobi.
Of course, apart from the graffiti, one of my favorite installations are the matatus, which are real matatus that we brought into the space. I don't think we knew what we were getting into when having a vision for bringing in real-life installations into the space, but we knew it was important to emphasize something different about this space, something different not only from the offering perspective, but also on a global level of trampoline parks. We know that Ozone can compete with any other trampoline park across the globe. They won't have matatus, they won't have this level of detail and attention, and a lot of the emotion that we put into creating the concept comes out in the space. So here we have one of our matatus, which we've hosted birthday parties inside, and this is a facade of an entrance of a room where a lot of entertainment parties can also happen. We believe that embracing the community is very important, so embracing and acknowledging. Knowing that our spaces are part of the social infrastructure of the entire community. There was a time when we used to see graffiti and matatus and believe that they were a nuisance, right? But slowly we acknowledged that there was an entertainment value in it. We became proud of it. People started to take pictures of those artworks. And so we actually reached out to the actual artists who did those installations on matatus and invited them into the space to participate in a place where we believe they could actually have a permanent signature on what that experience is. Having the space so well received, it also meant that our customers were proud to be a part of the experience, and there was a lot of high energy related to participating in that activity.
The activities at the Ozone include rock climbing, free climbing, basketball, open course, dodgeball, ninja warrior, slam dunk and parkour wall.
Ozone is a trampoline park which allows us to access different age groups. So there is a professional area. There's also a basketball, jumping zone, rock climbing, and an area for younger participants as well. Having participated and jumped myself, I know it's something that an experience that I never would have expected just by looking at it. You definitely have to experience it yourself. It does bring out the child in you, and it uses a lot more energy than you expect. The foundation of what we've created and continue to create are some basic values. That is our community, the experience, the family values. That's what we believe the creating memories in this space, as a lot of our generation have done from when we were children, are an important element of building that social infrastructure. Innovation and disruption are important to pushing the boundaries of what's currently available, but it's also activities that we believe that Nairobi and Kenya are very ready for. Kenyans are plugged in, they're very aware of global trends, and they're ready to have access to what's available globally. And we're excited to be able to bring as much of that to the region as possible. Ozone is something, looking at it from outside, you will never be able to experience the exhilaration of the activity. So not only is it expend a lot of energy, but it reminds you on a very, very simple activity that maybe is nostalgic, that brings a lot of excitement. So jumping, coordination. When we first opened the space, there were a group of teenagers that it was their first time jumping. And when they arrived into the space, they were complete naturals. It was unbelievable how someone very young can just take naturally to that sort of activity. It's fun to see how such a new concept can be so naturally integrated into an activity.
The space uses a lot of reused material for furniture as part of their core values.
As you've seen with a lot of our spaces and materials, we really believe in sustainability and reusing materials. So being able to reuse materials that already exist or repurpose them for furniture is in line with one of our core values of the Village Market, to be environmentally sustainable as well. Some examples of initiatives that we've done in the past, we engaged the plastic ban before it was law. We helped our customers make their own carrying bags. We have done a number of initiatives which are in line with our sustainability as well. Sustainability is about it's recognizing the impact that you have on the environment and not being ignorant to the fact that we do have an impact from a building perspective, but also on an operating perspective, trying to align ourselves to reduce the amount of waste, to be a sustainable center is important to our contribution towards the society, because the world that we're living in right now is not passed down to the next generation, it's actually inherited from them. They're living it, and we believe that we have to leave it in a better condition than what we're taking it on from.
Trampoline Park is great for kids, teens and adults too.
We have a basketball trampoline that allows the participants to try and slam dunk into a basketball hoop. I know I need a trampoline to help me slam dunk into a basketball hoop, but even with the help, it's still quite difficult. On that side, we have the dodgeball trampolines. The dodgeball trampolines are meant for competitive game sets. So dodgeball is bringing a game within a game. So it's a way for two teams to compete against each other. The rules of the game are that once you are hit with a ball, you are out, but you can also catch the ball for the opponent to be out. It's a lot of fun, and we've also had some competitions with it before. At the top we have the DJ deck, which allows us to get more engagement from parties, and we have the professional levels, and I still cannot believe how some jumpers can get that high onto the platform, but it's very exciting and quite thrilling to see. So we have rock climbing which are guided with the release ropes. That means that even if you fall, you're still protected from hitting the ground. So it's a soft recline. We have the free climbing if you're okay with falling, but there's still a foam pit underneath. A lot of fun, a lot of lights, a lot of energy. And when we first opened, we were very interested to see how often are our visitors visiting. Is this something that you only experience once? Or is it something that you're very comfortable coming back often? And we have a very wide range of visitors. I think for the teenage market, you will find someone visiting 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, and that's a lot of fun to see such loyalty towards the center. I think it's also interesting to see the parents are so excited to have that for their kids. And you also have some visitors that have only experienced it once, and they like that memory because they've done it with friends.
The space is great for private birthdays, parties, and a high-leveled live DJ setup that's used during parties.
We have hosted a lot of birthday parties, corporate events, some shows, which we're really looking for an engaging and vibrant space in order to bring people together. When I see it buzzing in the evening, particularly for groups and for corporate and kind of performances, I see it really as a suitable space for people to come together. Sometimes all we need are interesting spaces to bring people together. And it's the spaces that define sometimes how we interact with each other. So it's a lot about building in experiences. I think a lot of our very loyal patrons of the mall, they have built very different memories within the center over their lifetime. So we are excited to be able to keep on bringing out concepts which evoke different emotions and bring memories about the spaces that they experience. There are unique challenges to each one of our spaces, and I think they relate to the context that we're currently operating in. So the pandemic has of course had an impact on how we keep our customers safe and still remind everyone that life does go on. So we've adapted to what the global advancements are. That includes embracing digital technology as part of our infrastructure of entertainment. We have a wide range of physical engagement with bowling, Ozone, and Ballpoint, but we also know that there is a trend towards virtual reality, driving experiences that people are ready for, and we shouldn't ignore that. We don't see ourselves competing at a local scale. We see ourselves competing at a global scale, at a global level, and that's part of the reason why we try to compete at a global level is we believe that Kenya is ready for it. And having access to all of the facilities that are available globally is very important to us. So we feel the need to innovate because we feel that Kenya is ready for it. We also feel that it's a way to stay ahead of an explosion of retail centers around the city. And we feel it's also doing a justice to our customer base. We're excited to welcome you. We promise this is an experience that you will enjoy and create many memories that many of us have created in the past with the Village Market.
Thank you.